I don't know. I can't describe it. It's just
a tire.
Yeah.
It tastes like a tire.
It tastes like how a tire smells almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to Dreamhack Dallas. I'm Sparky878, and this is Spitfire. Joining me today is a man that a lot of you have seen recently just shooting up the power rankings. 14th in 1v1s, 10th in 2v2s, 9th overall. It is Phazon, and I don't even know your last name.
Reese.
Reese.
R-I-E-S-E, yeah.
R-I-E-S-E. It is Vinny Reese joining us today. And for those of you at home who might not know how this works, the way it's going to work is you see a lot of wings in front of us. You see a lot of sauces in front of us. The wings have been sauced in order from back to front in increasing Scoville amounts. Now that is the scale that determines how hot a pepper is. It's going from a very mild, very comfortable heat all the way to something that'll burn going in and burn coming out more than you've ever known in the past. So without further ado, let's just get into it. How do you do with spicy food? Are you good or bad?
I think I'm pretty good. I used to be a little crazy with it, and I would just, if I was with some friends, I'd just like get the hottest thing they have and I'd eat it just cause. But now really, if I can't enjoy it, I'm not gonna eat it. So I kind of set the bar a little lower so I can enjoy the spicy food that I have. But, something like this, I'm all for it. So I'm curious to see how I'll do.
You took spring championships.
Yeah.
You took Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Championship, the most prestigious online championship in Brawlhalla's history. You're here at Dreamhack Dallas with us today. But let's go back a little bit. Let's dig into the history books. How did you and Lil Cap get hooked up?
It's kind of interesting because Lil Cap and I, we had two different teammates at the time before BCX, and BCX was the first tournament we played together. I played Shine with Midget, so at the time that's who I was going to go into BCX with, and Costelix and Lil Cap were also a team then. So it's really weird because we played in like a community tournament, and so we ended up having to play each other, and me and Midget lost to Costelix and Lil Captain losers, and so after I was like, hey Cap, do you wanna play some rank 2s? And so I streamed, we played, and I think it was a Tropheus actually who says like, you guys are clicking, you guys are insane. About a week later, we talked a little bit. I'll be honest, I think Cap was a little afraid to really say anything. He's not the type of guy to really just want to push away the partner he has. So I convinced him, and I'll be honest, Midget and his friends weren't really too happy with me. They said a couple maybe choice words to me over Discord. Some blocks might have happened, but no, me and Cap ended up teaming, and we accomplished a lot. I mean, the first time we went into with like less than a week of practice was BCX. We beat, I think at the time, Cody Cyclist and Isidru were teaming. And, they had a long track record of doing really, really well. So we beat them to get top 8 in losers. So that was a really big win. We also beat Daiku and Effie. And what's crazy to me is we took Boomy and Remy to game 5, who ended up winning through losers that year. It was really from that point on, I think that they saw us as a threat. I think it definitely set up a bit of a mental barrier for them going on to 2018.
Yeah, making it that far is definitely a big statement regardless of the outcome.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and break into our first wing. This is going to be via Hot Ones. This is the classic. This should be real easy. It's just going to be a nice little bite. You can take as big a bites or as small bites as you want. I'm not eating the whole wing.
Good wing, yeah.
Good. It's just a nice little wing. Now, you played for Gosu Crew a long time ago. You played for Circa at one point. You played for Mentality at one point. And now you play for Noble. It was a tough thing for you. You were regularly tweeting like, man, I'm tired of looking for a sponsor. I really want a sponsor. So kind of compare and contrast your sponsors so far.
I feel like for quite a while, maybe not as much now, but there's a time period after I was done with the Gosu Crew where I was really looking for a sponsor to give me things that I felt were fair for me at the time, but there just really wasn't much interest to give a player that. It was really hard for a long time, like you said. I was making a couple tweets, and I was honestly kind of getting just fed up with it because I did get with Circa at one point, who honestly promised me a lot, and I personally thought, and I think a couple others thought that Circa was the org to be with in Brawlhalla at that time. I was really fortunate to be on there, but then about a month later was when I got told that they were unfortunately closing down. So it's kind of crazy because now the CEO and the founder of Circa Esports is now the CEO of Noble. So I'm really looking forward to...
Familiar face.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with him. I mean, the guys on Noble by far have been the best to me. Not to say that the others didn't do what I needed them to do at the time, but I think Noble can be definitely a longer lasting relationship that I'm super looking forward to, especially since, I mean, at Combo Breaker they had Samij and Tweety. They did fantastic. I mean, they got Rewind. He won EVO 2018, so it's like their roster is incredible as well, and they're definitely one of the biggest names in Brawlhalla esports for sure. So, yeah, I'd 100% say Noble. I'm by far the most ecstatic to be on.
All right, let's hit another wing. This is going to be Angry Goat Pepper Co.'s Hippy Dippy Green. Now this is going to be let's get a little bit hotter. This one's a little bit sweeter though.
Interesting taste.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like sweet and spicy, so this is a little, yeah, I'll definitely say, I mean, out of the two sauces, the classic's definitely the better one.
Now in Cardi B's song Bodak Yellow,
Okay.
she has a lyric, "I'm a boss, you're a worker, bitch. I make bloody moves." Where would you put yourself there? Are you a boss or are you a worker?
I think I like to say I'm a bit of a boss, but I think at the end I'm also majorly a worker. But I mean, my friends know, you know, I'm a pretty big sarcastic asshole. So,
Okay.
you know, at the end of the day, they know I'm not serious. You know, I do think to an extent that I am right. There is some truth in it, but I definitely am, I'd say, more of a worker.
Now it seems you and Remy have found the groove,
Yeah.
taking 2 big online tournaments in a row, making a huge statement. But this is familiar territory, taking online tournaments. You did this with Lil Cap in the past, but it never seemed like you could transfer that over to LAN. Now we're gonna take a bite of this next wing. It's gonna be the Chiba Gold from High River Sauces. Why didn't that transfer over to LAN with Lil Cap?
I think a big part of it, honestly, truthfully speaking, like Booming Remy 2018, frankly, didn't give a shit about online. I mean, there was times where they were playing random. I mean, it was an absolute shitfest. So I think that kind of gave a false perception that me and Lil Cap were the team to beat. And online, absolutely. Like, you might as well just forget Booming Remy because they were getting like 9th places and whatnot. But then, next thing you know, they show up to Dreamhack Austin, and then they just teared through literally every single Dreamhack.
They back-to-back 3-0'd Addy and Cake. Like, they made them look like not the caliber of player that they are. It was incredible.
And at that time, like, I still think in North America, Capt and I were definitely the next closest team, but the gap was just still so big. And I think just people got such a false sense of reality. False sense of reality.
A little hot, this one kicking in just a little bit?
And I'm choking on it.
It's a little warm.
A little bit. But yeah, I think a lot of people just got tripped up on that. Oh, me and Lil Caps were just so great because we did so online, but you know, low-key Booming Remy, we were just messing around, but then they just showed up on LAN.
So then what do you think comparing how Boomy and Sandstorm at Mountain Dew and Game Fuel, they got 4th. That's not a terrible placement like we had seen Boomy and Remy get. It wasn't a 9th, it wasn't outside of top 8, it wasn't barely top 16. Like, it's a 4th is very commendable. So how did you feel about their performance? Do you think that was everything they had online, or?
Short answer, yes. They both try and play the exact same role, and there is no like support player really on the team. Like with Remy and I feel like I found my specialty when I team with people. Same way I play with Lil Caps. I mean, I just kind of let Remy do his own thing, and then I find ways to build off of it. But there are times you'll see for me when I am taking the lead, and it's like, it's gonna be very noticeable because the way I approach and the way I go in is very different. And I just don't think Boomy and Sandstorm really have that at the moment. So I think me and Remy definitely have an edge coming into this.
Give me some animes that you think have fantastic openings. Like, give me some of your favorites. Not necessarily the absolute best, but ones that come to your brain as your handful of like favorites or go-tos.
I mean, by far my favorite is Neon Genesis Evangelion. I mean, Cruel Angel's Thesis is a classic. I feel like people that don't even know the series or have watched it will know the song if they've heard it because, I mean, they've heard it in videos and whatnot. So I think that anime by far, just like the ideas it explores and whatnot, I think that's my number one. I would say another anime I really like is Berserk. It's funny because I think the original series, that opening, I think it's actually the worst of the openings, but I think the animation is the best out of all the series. Because when they get to 2016, 2017, they try and do the Black Swordsman arc. It's like the opening, fantastic. You know, the art style, great. It looks just like the movies that they did for the Golden Age arc. But the thing is that the animation is all CGI and, frankly, complete garbage.
So that's the way that you watch anime, but
Yeah.
what about, how do you prepare for tournaments, and is that preparation different for online versus offline? Obviously, an online tournament, you can wake up that day,
Yeah.
eat the breakfast of your choosing in your own home, in your
Right.
PJs. Do you wear the jersey at home like Drake wears every single chain, even when he's in the house? Or how does that work? How's your preparation for online and offline events? And actually, let's go ahead and take a bite.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is one of the best ones. This is Los Calientes by Hot Ones. This is their summer sauce, and of course, fitting because I think summer, based on the calendar, I think actually just started.
Yeah, it feels like summer.
And it feels like summer here
Yeah.
in Texas. It's a good one.
Yeah, definitely good. It's honestly not too overwhelming. I think right now my top 3 sauces are the original and the last 2 we've had.
I would agree. That's
So-
the classic, that's the Bronx, and that's Los Calientes.
Yeah.
I would 100% agree with you. Chiba Gold actually was surprisingly spicy. These
Right.
two,
Yeah.
not really hardly
Yeah.
anything, very enjoyable. But,
Yeah.
but back to the question. So how's your preparation?
Well, first and foremost, I do not wear a jersey in my house. I just kind of put on sweatpants or whatever I want. I mean, shorts, whatever, but throw on a t-shirt. I honestly, it's kind of weird because I still get that nervous feeling going into, a little bit of anxiety going to online tournaments. I feel like that's because since I'm alone in my room, you kind of have more time to think about it.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm coming to a LAN, I'm with friends, and it's just, you have a lot more distractions, especially here, Dreamhack Dallas. It's like you have so many other things going on, so it's kind of hard to really get inside your thoughts that much. So as far as preparation goes, it's funny because I actually considered for a time period where I was like, what if I had an online character for tournaments and then a character I'd take to offline tournaments? That way, it's like when I come to LANs, I mean, it's just a completely different. It's not the same Phazon you're playing, online. It's just I have that edge not only mentally from the start because they don't know what I'm gonna do on the character, but also it's just a completely different feeling for me, and I feel like that kind of refreshing feeling. It's not just playing the same character over and over.
All right, we're going to be moving on to Melinda's Creamy Style Ghost Pepper Wing Sauce. Now, this is the only sauce that has not been on an official season of Hot Ones. I couldn't get one prime shipped to me in time where it would be guaranteed. Like it might have arrived on Wednesday, but
Yeah,
it might have
don't
arrived
take
on Thursday or Friday. So this one is consistent with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th position based on Scovilles. I have tried this sauce. This is the only one I've tried before this interview. I hate it. It's awful, and I think this is where it really starts to step up in heat. It's like when you're playing Guitar Hero and you go from like medium to hard, where they really start adding in that orange button, that pinky finger, and that's when I start to have trouble.
Right. I feel this one in the sinuses a little bit for sure.
Now, we mentioned music a little bit with regards to anime, but are you someone who listens to music when you're playing Brawlhalla? Like, do you listen when you're at home? Do you listen on LAN? Or are you just a game sound, possibly in-game music kind of guy?
It's funny because I kind of bounce back and forth. I think originally I liked the idea of listening to, whatever I want while I play, but I think for sure in 2v2s, I don't listen to music because I have Remy talking to me, or whoever my partner is, just talking to me, and I feel like that's too many things just coming into my brain at once. You have music, you have in-game sound, then you have Remy trying to say, oh, I need you here, I need you there. So definitely 2v2s I don't. That's kind of been pretty consistent, but for a time period, I'd say up until Mountain Dew, I wasn't listening to music in ones. But then I started listening to music again Just something to kind of like when nothing's really happening in the game, just to have it playing. So I guess again, I can't really get lost in my thoughts, like thinking, just not getting too deep with it.
Yeah, it's adding a distraction.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to be bumping? Do you have like specifically a Brawlhalla playlist? Are you like, I'm in this kind of vibe, I'm winning, I want this song. I'm losing, I want this song.
I feel like whatever you think sounds good, you should listen to. I feel like I'm not someone who really follows an artist, but I know recently someone who I've started listening to again that hasn't really released any, like the year the songs that I really like from her are like 2010, 2009, Marina and the Diamonds.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, fantastic.
What genre is that?
You're asking the wrong person, but it sounds great. I like it. But as far as will I, switch songs? Do I make playlists? No, I'm too lazy to make playlists. And yeah, no, I really don't deal with the playlist and whatnot. I just kind of whatever's playing is playing. I don't really take the time, between a stock to switch it or whatnot. I feel like that's again just a distraction that I can't really afford to, get my head out of the game with.
All right, so how you feeling so far? We're over halfway done. We have 4 more sauces. We're cruising right through this.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
Yeah, do you feel it in your lips? Feel it on the tip of your tongue?
I've felt it in my lips for a while, but it's not that bad, and still it's not that bad. But just now I swallowed, and now I feel it in like the back of my throat.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what's gonna be my downfall eventually.
Just a status update. Haven't even finished half your water. The lid is still on the milk. I already took the lid off of my milk, but the lid is still on his milk.
Yeah.
This is a small cup of water. It's a few inches of water. He's drank a little bit more water than I have. I kind of want to break into the milk, but I'm going to be strong. All right, we're going to take a bite of number 7, I believe. This is Hellfire Hot Sauce's Fear This. Now, this one has Carolina Reaper, which the bottle says is the world's hottest pepper. I don't know if that's the case. Is that still the case, or did they find another one?
Pepper X is technically hotter.
Pepper X is technically hotter. Thank you, Creed, for telling me that. Y'all might have heard him in the background. He knows more about food than I do.
That's a gross one. It's just hot. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. Like,
Yeah,
it's not enjoyable to eat. It's just hot, and that's all it is.
this tastes like a worse version of the previous sauce to me. Even though it's a different pepper, this is starting to get to the point where it's like they're just making a hot sauce for hot sauce's sake rather than a food augmentation device.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Ooh, that one's a little bit in the back of my throat there.
Yeah. You gotta be careful.
All right, so according to my records, the first tournament you won was the Stream Me Legend Series 2v2.
Oh man, that's a throwback.
And you won it not with Lil Cap. It was before, I guess, you got hooked up with Lil Cap. It was with iThrow.
Yeah. Oh god, that one's getting hot.
Yeah, I'm breaking into the milk for this.
Yeah, I might have to. Yeah, I'll be straight up honest. I think that tournament was a complete shit show as far as like how it went down, because I felt like I got carried so much by iThrow, and I honestly feel like I did. We ended up winning with double Taros. Like, if that doesn't say something, like I just felt lost, and he was doing well on Taros. We beat Boomy and LDZ. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it did. So
Now, it's interesting that you bring up the double terrace because kind of before that season, most 2v2 tournaments had double characters banned. Like, that was specifically not allowed in the meta, but that was just not a part. And I think Stream Me Legend Series was one of the first ones where we saw double Bodvars, like double Terroses, which that's not going to happen these days. And if it does happen, they're not going to get very far.
yeah.
What was it like to win your first big tournament? Even though it was strange, how did it feel to win your first, like, actually big tournament?
I mean, it was awesome, for sure. It didn't happen for a while again, but it was definitely a step in the right direction. One thing, it's always funny, I like to joke with iThrow, because he dropped me shortly after that tournament because he thought he could get someone better. I mean,
Yeah, well, where's iThrow
yeah,
now?
I don't know what doing now because
Where's iThrow now?
he barely gets top 8 at this point with Noel. So it's like,
And it's so weird. Because they
it's
used
very
to be the
odd.
men to beat. They were the boys to
Yeah,
beat.
and it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of like almost sweet revenge. I think the best part about that, though, was at BCX 2017 when I made, really, really crazy runs in both singles and doubles. Not only did I knock out iThrow in singles from that tournament, me and Cap knocked him and Bacon out from 2s of that tournament. So it was kind of like sweet revenge. Granted, me and I we're good friends still. No bad blood.
Put the knife in with singles and then twist the knife.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
2v2 the day
That
after.
was so good.
That was wing number 7 out of 10. Now, this one I think is notoriously one of the worst in terms of not just spiciness, but bad taste.
Okay.
So let's hit this one. I'm starting to lose some feeling in my lips. The
bit.
back of my throat is very tingly right now.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I feel like right now it's still mainly short term. Heat definitally.
Wait till you visit the bathroom later tonight, and I think short term is going to turn into long term real quick.
I might revisit that idea.
All right, so we're going to take wing number 8. This is Da Bomb Beyond Insanity. Now, still, you have had less milk than I have.
Yeah,
You had a little bit more
it might
water,
change.
but less milk.
It might change.
That's gross.
Yeah, that's fucking awful.
That's gross.
That's so bad. It almost tastes like I don't know. I can't describe it. It's just
A tire.
Yeah.
It tastes like a
It tastes
tire.
like how tire smells almost.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just bad.
That's a hot one.
It is very hot. But I honestly
right.
think I'm just distracted by the taste.
It seems like some of the BH players now are getting into clothes, but specifically shoes.
Right.
Drip check. What have you copped recently?
Right now, what I'm wearing my NMDs, R2s, Japan like black, like I don't know the exact name, but I like them. They're black and white. I don't know if I can get in frame, but here they are.
Ooh, the boy's clean.
Yeah, I mean they're great. Still pretty clean.
Yeah.
I took them on the trail, so I like them. I think they're pretty good. I think as far as like other clothes go, those are only shoes I bought. I spent like $420, which
Ooh.
that is the most I've ever spent.
Mountain
on
Dew and
shoes.
Game Fuel treating you good. Spring Champs treating you
Something
good.
like that.
We're moving on to Torchberry sauces, all natural, zombie apocalypse. I'm definitely feeling it at this point.
Yeah, I think honestly at this point, tears might start flowing.
Yeah,
Unwillingly.
it's getting there. My nose is starting to flow.
Yeah.
We got 2 more, right?
Yep.
So let's buckle down. Let's get it done. As you say, tears. I guess I'm a sympathetic crier because the tears are starting to flow. Let's
Yeah.
get a big old bite of this all natural zombie apocalypse sauce.
Oh boy.
I started to feel really good, and then we took the bite.
Yeah.
I'm still feeling really good, but I know that it's temporary.
Can't touch my eyes. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
I'm
watch
doing pretty
watch
good with
the
it,
eyes
yeah.
because you talk about short term, that will turn it into a very big problem very quickly. Now, on May 23rd, 2017, you tweeted a poll. Do I keep my PhD? Referring to the doctor in the name Dr. Phazon. 70% of people voted to keep it. Why did you ignore the people?
Were the people right, and do I think the people would appreciate it if I brought it back?
I like
Yeah.
to think this is a country of by the people,
Right.
for the people,
Yeah,
and
it's
of
America.
the people.
Yeah. I just think it was too lengthy. It doesn't really roll off the tongue that well. Phazon, it's easier to say. I think it just comes out one go, you know. So I personally like Phazon more, but I like to sometimes just add the doctor, just somehow incorporate it into my Steam name every once in a while.
Early on, you and Cody were pushing the blasters meta forward. I gotta take a sip of milk.
Yeah. It's starting to settle down now.
You
A little
made
better.
the Blaster Baddies Discord,
Yeah.
which, at least of my knowledge, now it could have existed and I just didn't know about it, but that was one of the first, like, really focused, like,
Yeah.
weapon discords or character discords for Brawlhalla. Obviously, there's a Kami Discord for Street Fighter or a Scorpion
Yeah.
Discord for Mortal Kombat, but that was the first time I'd ever heard of that in Brawlhalla. That later turned into your Discord, the Doctor's Office.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, what was your goal with Blaster Baddies?
I think it was just to, like, I mean, first and foremost, I was just curious. It was my idea. I made the Discord. And I was like, oh, because Cody was the other. I mean, at that time, especially, I think he was just way better of a blasters player. So I was like, if I can get him on board, I think a lot of people will be into it as well. So, God, this sauce. Yeah, I was like, okay, if I can get him on board with it, and he was totally down. And we got like, I think sub 200 people to join pretty quick.
Which at the time, that's a lot.
That's
a lot.
And it was really like the whole purpose was just to show like, you had different sections like cool clips,
Yep.
Some tips. It was just almost like a bit of everything, like to show off your skills with blasters, to like help people, just to talk with the other people who main the weapon, see what their thoughts are, see how the blasters meta is developing. The thing is, as all good things are, at some point I feel like they have to die. So what ended up happening is that I deleted that Discord and started a new one, which is doing really, really well. So it was kind of like, I'm definitely glad I decided to make that move, because now people that actually care about it and like that are the ones wanting to see me stream, they can get it, and I can not annoy the people that didn't want to have anything to do with me. So.
All right, now we are moving on to the final wing. I'm honestly feeling pretty good so far. I think the bomb was the worst one so far, Zombie Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I'm not even worried about it. But it's tradition around here. This is the first episode.
Yep.
To put a little bit extra on this one. This is just a very gross looking sauce. The consistency is just absolutely vile. I've heard it actually tastes pretty good though. It smells
That's
not
nice.
terrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it, no. Oh no.
Yeah, you're a brave soul, I'll be honest.
Well, I see you over there with how much milk you've had, and I've finished my milk. You've almost finished your water, but so far, Vin, you're a champ.
Yeah.
This is the Last Dab Redux from Hot Ones.
What's so special about it being a Redux? I don't really know.
It's probably just hotter than the original The Last Dab.
That's wonderful. Awesome. Oh.
Now, I'm out of milk. I know. Poor planning. Think about this question before we dig into this, because I might need a moment. On February 22nd, 2017, long time ago, Creed's literally checking his watch right now to figure out how long ago that was.
Yeah.
You tweeted, Val is becoming my favorite legend.
Huh.
That was like the beginning of an era.
Yeah.
When you got announced on Circa, it was a picture of you with Val gauntlets.
Yeah.
All of the imagery that I've seen of you is of Val. Now, as you're chewing this delicious wing with this very, very hot sauce on it, what about Val grabbed you back then, and why have you stuck with her for the long haul? You've gone off of her sometimes, picking up a Blasters legend every now and then, picking up another character every now and then, but it's always been back to Val. We're going to take this bite. I put too much on. And you're going to tell me what really grabbed you and held on with Val.
Finish my water before this. All right.
We made
Cheers,
it.
yeah. Definitely not the worst, as far as taste goes. I feel like once I swallow this,
No.
it's going to be awful.
No. It's fine.
I like how you reach for the milk.
And I didn't
Got a
have
whole
any.
lot,
I
huh?
didn't have any. We have more milk, but I'm an adult. Ooh, the tum is a rumbling and a bumbling. So what about Val? I'm grabbing the milk.
Honestly, with Val, I think what's interesting is, like, you notice with Jiro as well, that character has Scythe, which is a string weapon, and Gauntlet's a string weapon as well. I tend to like those sort of weapons more. However, they both have Sword, and Sword is just overall so consistent. Granted, you have people like Blood Diamond, Mr. Negative. He's always talking about it's awful, it sucks, it's garbage. But when you really look at it, it's one of the few weapons, I feel like. Not few, but it's still one of the most consistent to kill with, even though it has been nerfed. It may not be as easy as the past. But I think that's been a big attraction, is that I have the reliable true combos that kill on Sword. And the SIGs on the kit overall, fantastic. And then the gauntlets, it lets me, go crazy a little once in a while. Hitting a big string is always fun. Catching a dodge, that's always super satisfying. So that's probably the biggest reason why I stuck with the character.
All right, now I have a handful of very infamous loadouts here. I'm going to show you the loadout and ask you to name the player who plays it. Now, also pay attention to the weapons, because one player may play that character with that skin, in that color scheme, but look at the weapons. As this very hot pepper, this very hot sauce is just coursing through your veins at this moment.
So I'm going for the player?
You're going for the player who plays this loadout.
That looks like something Boomy would play.
That's Dobrain.
Dobrain. EU.
Boomy wouldn't play Reno Wushong.
I don't know.
North America and EU.
Yeah, okay.
Think about the most notorious player for that skin and weapon combination.
Some reason I want to say ERAM.
Why would I show you ERAM? ERAM is no longer relevant. The most relevant thing ERAM has done is he won Brawlhalla Jeopardy.
Man,
North American player.
North American player? Wow. Tiffany.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
1 for 2. This one's free.
Oh, LDZ.
Yeah. 2 for 3.
2-time.
EU player.
EU, blue.
Hey, now we're moving on.
Wilson.
Yeah. Most of these are actually really easy.
Addy.
Yeah.
My inferior.
It's hard to pick somebody who plays a character like as religiously as these players play these loadouts.
Yeah.
But you also might know who they are.
Right. Oh, that's Wilson as well.
Yeah, I got 2 Wilsons. That was a little trick. You got it. You're not even worried, man. This is free. This is free.
Cody.
Yeah,
all the way.
Easy peasy. I'm lobbing you some softballs here. This one's free.
That's a little cat.
That's
come
a little
on,
cat
come
right
on.
there. He only missed one. He only missed Dobrain's Reno Wushong. Hopefully Dobrain won't watch this. Now, you made it all the way through. Not even worried. I didn't even see a single tear come down off your face.
Yeah.
Now, you have the same birthday as LDZ, as Crocky,
Right.
as Calamari Pop. Those are legends. What is your legacy that you want to leave behind in Brawlhalla? Other than being able to just demolish these wings like it's nothing.
Right. I'd probably say just be just the best at what I do. And right now I feel like I'm on track to. I obviously am behind. I have all of the online record at this point. And I feel like 2019 is definitely the year for me to do it, to make the statement as far as on land goes, to solidify myself as one of the best players to play the game. So I think depending on how this year goes, and obviously we'll find out. Dallas will be almost a great first look. So yeah, I think if I get a good foot off on Dallas, I think the rest of the year it'll just snowball, and I'll just continue to do well. I'll build momentum, and BCX comes around, or even CEO. We'll see how it plays out, but I think I definitely have the potential to definitely get through. So yeah, I think once I get over a few, honestly, somewhat minor mental hurdles, in my opinion, I think I'll just be able to roll with it.
Well, you're the sheriff of Spicy Town.
Yeah.
After this interview, you made it through everything. Tell the people at home where they can find you on Twitter, on Twitch, so on and so forth.
On Twitch, I stream at Phazon. Once I got verified, I got that name. So yeah, just Phazon on Twitch. On Twitter, Phazon VR. That's really about it. I don't really do any other social media, so those 2 spots they're the places to find me. Obviously, watch me in tournament. Oh, YouTube as well. That's something I've started to get more active with as well. Coming up on 2,000 subscribers. YouTube's crazy because just the amount of views and whatnot you get just being a good player. And it's honestly, I think a lot more people should get into it that are good, a lot more top players. So they definitely should look into it more. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by Spitfire. Wish you the best of luck this weekend in Dreamhack Dallas in both singles and doubles. And
looking forward to it.
I really appreciate you being here on the show with hot questions and an even hotter host. Thank you, Phazon.
Yeah, no problem.